We've had 44 men who've been president, and as we head into electing a 45th person, I'd like to talk about the other 44 and rank the greatest of them. I think clearly, obviously the greatest president was our first one, George Washington. Both because he set up our democracy, he won the Revolutionary War, resigned his generalship, and did not set up a military dictatorship, and as president left after 2 terms, setting the precedent of rotation in office. I think the second greatest, of course, is Lincoln, who saved the Union, abolished slavery, and really opened the door for the Industrial Revolution and for the rapid and amazing industrial and economic growth of the United States. I think the third greatest is FDR. Again, not a controversial choice. Despite mistakes that he made in handling the Depression, he did win the war for us, and he's founded Social Security, workmen's compensation, maximum hour legislation, the Securities and Exchange Commission, all kinds of regulatory bodies that really now are a permanent part of our landscape. My choice for number 4 is Ronald Reagan. I think that he totally changed the direction of America. I think he turned it back to a free market country, and most importantly, he won the Cold War. It was his strategy of attrition that gave us victory in that, and I think he deserves the number 4 place. By the way, when I once went through this list with Bill Clinton, he agreed on Reagan being number 4. And then, in no particular order based on their service as president, not before, let me run through the other 7. Obviously, Thomas Jefferson. He was obviously important before the presidency. His second term was a disaster, but in his first term, he did the Louisiana Purchase, which doubled the size of the United States and set us en route to being a continental power. I'd also include Andrew Jackson, who founded the political party system, founded the Democratic Party, and really eliminated the property requirement for voting. When he left office, there was universal white male suffrage, which is a very important step toward what we have today. The next choice may surprise you, James K. Polk, the 11th president of the country. He won the Mexican War, which he started on a pretext. He bought the Oregon Territory and negotiated it with Britain, and he was responsible for taking America and fleshing it out for what it is today. About 40% of the landmass of the United States, including California and Texas, became part of the country on his watch. Then I would skip over a number of not good presidents and go to Theodore Roosevelt, who really inaugurated the whole notion of pushing back on the Industrial Revolution to protect the quality of life, the environment, conservation, protect people from exploitation, roll back the trusts so the consumers could have real competition. He was the first one to really stand up against laissez-faire capitalism and make it into the regulated capitalism that works so well today until Obama decided to go crazy. Then Woodrow Wilson helped us win World War I, which we probably should never have gotten into, and set up the League of Nations that we didn't get into. But he does deserve credit for setting up the Federal Reserve Board and passing a great deal of the important legislation we have today. And don't forget women's suffrage, direct election of senators, which I think is important, and also the income tax, which I think is the fairest way to raise revenue, although it should be a flat tax. And then I think you skip over and you go to Harry Truman, who basically set up the Cold War on a basis where America could win it, resisted the opportunity to go into a war with Russia, did fight a war over Korea when he had to, and let's not forget, saved about 1 million lives of Americans by dropping the bomb. Then I hate to do it, but Lyndon Johnson. The Vietnam War was awful, a catastrophe. He was deceitful, mendacious, and everything else in doing it. And he may have been implicated possibly in the assassination of John Kennedy. We don't really know that yet, but there's an interesting theory to that effect. But he founded Medicare, Medicaid, passed the Civil Rights Bill, passed the Voting Rights Bill, set up the whole range of important, crucial government programs, and ultimately gave blacks equality in the United States in a way they'd never had. Thanks very much for watching.